Hey sports fans, what's going on? It is Peter here for another video. It's Thursday night football. It's the Jets versus the Colts. Let's get into it. Okay, sports fans, welcome in to the video. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Tonight, it's the Colts versus the Jets in a Thursday night football rivalry. So we see here on screen we have runthesims.com. We're going to go run some simulations for tonight's slate. We'll start with DraftKings. We're going to go showdown, and we have all the market shares for all the players here. Just have a look at some ownership here before we get into it. We see here the highest projected owned captain for the Jets is Michael Carter at 12.1%, appearing the most in the flex for the Jets at 40% ownership. For the Colts, we have Carson Wentz 55% in the flex. We have Michael Pittman 41% in the flex, and we also have Jonathan Taylor 46% in the flex. At captain, then we have a whopping 33% ownership here for Jonathan Taylor, only 12% for Carson Wentz. That may be the leverage play there, and Michael Pittman here appearing at 15%. So we have Carson Wentz appearing lower ownership than Pittman and also Taylor, so that's definitely a leverage spot just looking at it here straight off the bat. So we're going to run the sims as is, so it's running 5,000 play-by-play simulations of tonight's slate over and over in the background, and it's going to give us out an optimal rate. We're going to see what players appear in the optimal lineup the most. So we have Jonathan Taylor appearing the most here at 71.9%, 27% in the captain, which is definitely the highest on the slate. We have Carson Wentz coming in a close second here, a little lower captain, but a lot more in the flex. Michael Pittman 53% is a bit of a drop off there. Then we have Michael Carter, Mike White, so the Jets players here. Keelan Cole is actually quite interesting tonight. He's appearing in 42.4% of the win lineups on DraftKings, which is quite high for a salary saver receiver at lowish ownership. The ownership will probably get higher and higher during the day, so keep that in mind. I definitely run the sims before the slate starts to get the actual ownership or the closest to the projected ownership. We have Crowder, Pascal, Hines, Molly Cox here, 5'2", appearing 18.9% of the winning lineup. Let's have a look down here. Austin Doolin is another salary saver at only $200. Again, his ownership will probably be higher than this. He could be coming in around 20% ownership before the slate starts. So let's have a look at the custom lineups now. It's always a good place to go. We see this lineup here. It is a 5-1 onslaught. We have Pascal as our captain with Pittman, Cole's defense, Wentz, Jonathan Taylor, and Keelan Cole as our one-off. It's got 171.5 some ownership and 23.5 product ownership, which is quite low considering there's a lineup here for 155.5, another one here for 191.5. So this lineup appears the most 18 times, and it's only a product ownership of 23.5. So the sum ownership is all the ownership for all the players added together, so it's plus for all of those, and that's the combined total 23.5. So this one here for only 10.9 also is quite interesting. We have Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Carson Wentz, Pascal, Keelan Cole, and Denzel Mims. So you have two receivers for the Jets without quarterback, which is kind of an interesting play. Let's have a look at a really low owned one down here. We have this one for 8.8% product ownership. We have Taylor, Pascal, Wentz, and then it's Mims, White, and Cole. So it's a 3-3 stack. We have a running back captain with a quarterback and receiver, and we'll have a quarterback and two receivers on the other side. So I do like that lineup. It isn't leaving that much salary left over, but it is got, it's got very low product ownership, which is always good. Let's have a look. It's like this lineup down here, 269. This is the highest one we've come across yet. So it's Taylor, Cox, Wentz, Doolin. So it's the salary savers here, and you have Carter and Crowder on the other side of the game. So that's probably going to be a good cash lineup tonight on DraftKings, because you have Taylor, who is the chalky captain. You have Wentz as quarterback. You have the salary saver receiver. You have Molly Cox. Then you fill in the other side with the two best Jets players in Crowder and Carter. So 269 product ownership. That probably is the best cash lineup to go with tonight. Looking at this, I would not play it in GBPs. Okay, so that's the custom lineups. Let's head back on over now, and we'll run it on FanDuel for tonight's slate. It's the same inputs in here as per usual, and again, it's running the simulations of tonight's slate over 5,000 times. going to give us out an optimal rate, and we see here on FanDuel Carson Wentz appears in the optimal lineup, the highest 69.9%, 27.8% in captain. A little bit higher over here at MVP on FanDuel. Taylor coming in second here again. Also another big drop to third place here, but this time it's Mike White who is appearing. Quarterbacks normally do better on FanDuel than DraftKings regard the MVP spot. Carter, Pascal, Hines, Bowder, Keelan Cole here again, a 7,000 salary on FanDuel, 3% ownership. Again, it could be a little higher, closer to kickoff. He's appearing in 26.6% of the optimal lineups over here on FanDuel. So Cole is definitely a very good play tonight regards these simulations. Doolin is min priced on FanDuel, 5,000. His ownership is a little low right now. It's going to come in a little higher than that. So Doolin, he's not the best play in the world. If his ownership gets maybe around 10 or 15% or even higher, I probably would fade him. But for now, he's definitely in play. Let's have a look who else down here. Braxton Berrios. Marlon Mack I do like, but the simulations do not like him whatsoever tonight. I will be mixing in some Marlon Mack in MME, max multi-entry, 150 lineups. I will be entering them in, a couple of them here and there. The custom FanDuel lineups we have, so we have 49 lineups, this one appearing. It has a whopping 2,171 product ownership, so much different over here on FanDuel. We have Taylor, Wentz, Pascal, Hines with Crowder, so it's a 4-1 onslaught here in 49 times. We have Wentz quarterback with Pittman, Pascal, so two of his receivers, he's running back, and also Ryan Griffin. So let's have a look at a low owned play over here on FanDuel. We have this one here, 40.9 product ownership. It's Wentz with Hines, Pittman, Taylor, so double running back with Mims as a bring back. Mims is quite low owned. So that's quite interesting. This lineup here, 2,417. It's probably going to be a chalky lineup tonight on FanDuel. I probably wouldn't use it in your GPP lineups. Let's see, one down here we have 2,934. We have Taylor, Pascal, Wentz, and a double bring back. We have Croft and Carter. So this product ownership here on runthesims.com is very helpful. Show you what lineups are going to be chalky tonight, which lineups aren't going to be that chalky. So that is runthesims.com. That is the simulations for tonight's slate on both FanDuel and also on DraftKings. But now I'm going to head on over to DraftKings and I'm going to build some lineups. I'm going to build a cash lineup and also a GPP lineup. Okay, so we got the salaries on screen here for DraftKings tonight. We're going to build our cash lineup to begin with, then we're going to build a GPP lineup, and then we're going to head on over to FanDuel. So for cash, as per usual, you want either a running back, quarterback, defense, or kicker captain, or if there's a very good starter who is a salary saver. Tonight's slate, I'm probably going to go with the kicker for the Colts. Blankenship is not playing, don't put him in your lineups because Badgley is getting the start. He hasn't hit a 50-yarder yet this season in the last 3 games he started for the Colts, but he's in the dome tonight, so he might have a better chance of doing that. Let's see, so he had a long of 42 in 3 games, which wasn't ideal, but he's only been asked to make 1 field goal per game, so it's 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1. Tonight's game could be a little high scoring, it could go over the total, so Badgley, he's a very good low risk captain here tonight. You can also go with the Colts defense if you like, but I think tonight's game could be a little high scoring for defense in cash. So now you're going to get both quarterbacks in the game. You have Wentz and Mike White, so you want to capture all the scoring in this game, so both quarterbacks, both running backs is always the best way to go. So we have Taylor now with Carter, so both quarterbacks, both running backs. We have a salary saver captain who is a kicker. Now we have 2,600 left over to fill in our last spot, and we have Keelan Cole here at 2,400, who is a very good salary saver tonight. I believe he had a touchdown taken away last weekend, so he could have had a better day than 5.5 points. Let's see, so he's had a very good week here, week 4 versus the Titans, 3 for 4, 92 yards, 54 yards long. So he has downfield, he is a downfield threat, he has touchdown potential. So I do like this cash lineup on DraftKings now. We have a 3-3 stack, which is quite good for cash. You could run a 4-2 or a 5-1 onslaught if you wanted, if you want to go with the favorites, Colts, but I think this game will be a lot closer than people think, so this is a very good cash lineup tonight. Okay, so for high risk lineups on DraftKings tonight, you want to go with a captain, maybe a pass catcher, a tight end, or a wide receiver. So someone like a Carter, a Crowder, Pascal. Pascal is a very good captain. I'd really like him tonight. For this lineup though, we're going to go with the underdogs. We're going to have a majority of the underdogs as our captains in our lineup. So we're going to go with a jet stack here. We're going to go with, I could go with Elijah Moore at 9,300, but I think Keelan Cole here at 3,600, he is the better play. Just keep in mind, if you are playing a salary saver at your captain in GPPs, you want to leave a good bit of salary left over, just to get a little different than from the field, because everyone's going to maximize that salary and pay up. So if you want to get different, maybe don't maximize the salary. Let's see what we got here. So we have White, Cole, so we have the quarterback with a pass catching captain, and then the other side of the game we're going to go with Wentz, and we're going to get in the running back here, Taylor, who is a very good play in this game tonight. As Run the Sims did show that he was appearing in, I think the most, I think it was 70%, over 70% on DraftKings and 68% on FanDuel in the optimal lineup. So Taylor and Wentz are definitely two guys you want to get in your lineup. So where we go from here is quite interesting. Now we could go the Michael Pittman route and leave 4,000 left over. Then we could go down here. We probably don't want to plug in Tyler Kroft and leave no salary left over. This is what most people will do. You probably want to go with another, having a look at the ownership here. We have a low owned captain, but the rest of the guys here are all quite chalky. So you could do with another semi-low owned play here. So we could go with Dental Mims at 2,000. We could go Ryan Griffin. Let's see, Marlon Mack is quite interesting. I do like him tonight, even though the Sims didn't like him. I think he's worth a play tonight. Doolin is in play here at $200. Who is he's the third string wide receiver tonight for the Colts, so he could run this lineup here with a low owned captain and a low owned Doolin. Doolin is low owned right now, but that could change closer to lock, so keep that in mind. Check the ownership before the game kicks off. So we're leaving 3,800 left over here. It's a very good high risk GPP play. If you wanted, you could take Pittman out your lineup and you could go with someone a little cheaper. So you could go with someone like a Pascal instead. So now we have Wentz, Taylor, and Pascal. So you have Wentz with a receiver and his running back. So now you have 7,600 left over. Again, you don't want to maximize that salary. You don't want to just play Ty Johnson, leave it house at 100 left over. You want to go with someone else, someone like they're all backup quarterbacks. So Hines here at 5,600. You have two running backs here now for the Colts though, so keep that in mind as well. You could go with the Colts defense here, so it's a 2-4 stack, which could get there as well. Let's see, we have Mo Alley-Cox here. I do like him tonight, so we could go with this, a 2-4 stack here for the Jets. So you think Cole gets most of the scoring for the Jets, and maybe they get 2 touchdowns together, himself and White. And then the Colts, Wentz, Taylor, Pascal, and Cox are probably the high scorers on this side of the game in what could be a high scoring game. So you're trying to tell the story that this will be a high scoring game. Cole maybe get the most touchdowns on the slate, maybe gets 2 touchdowns, whereas these guys maybe get 1 touchdown or 1 touchdown, and then like Molly Cox gets some good yardage or whatever. So you're telling the story when you're making a lineup, and that's what you want to do. So that's my high risk lineup tonight, or just an example of a high risk lineup tonight on DraftKings. Okay, sports fans, that's DraftKings. Let's head on over now to FanDuel and build lineups over there. So we got the salaries on screen tonight for FanDuel. I will say before I start that cash tonight, low risk on FanDuel is very tricky. Normally you want to play both quarterbacks, both running backs in your lineups. Let's see if that can work tonight. I don't think so. Taylor and Carter, we've only $500 or 500 euros left over, depending on where you are. I'm in Europe, so I get euros. You may get dollars if you're in America or Canada. So we can't run double quarterback, double running back. We're going to go with Wentz as our MVP because we don't want to limit upside, as he's the same price in flex. So then you have Taylor and Pittman, who are the top 2 projected scorers tonight for the Colts. Then from here, where do you go is the question. So you probably want to get in a salary saver here, so you could go with someone Keelan Cole, Jack Dial, Marlon Mack, something like that. But we're going to go down here, we're going to find Austin Doolin, who is min priced, and he's the 3rd string receiver for the Colts tonight. So you will see some action in the game. Whether he only scored 3 or 4 points, I don't know, but at the salary, you got to put him in your lineup, I think. So the other side of the game, then we're going to play someone from the Jets. We're going to go with either Ty Johnson, Amendola, Elijah Moore, one of these guys here. I really do like Keelan Cole tonight. But this cash lineup leaves 2,000 left over. You probably don't want to do that in cash. We're going to go with Amendola here and leave only 500 salary left over. So we have Wentz, Taylor, Pittman, Doolin, and Amendola. That's probably the best cash lineup you can build tonight on FanDuel. Okay, so now I'm going to build my GPP lineup over here on FanDuel. So for GPPs, as usual, you want to go with a wide receiver or tight end as your MVP. So tonight I'm going to go with Pascal, a very low-owned MVP tonight for the Colts. Let's see, we're going to pair Pascal with his quarterback in Carson Wentz. From here then, we have decisions to make. You could fade Jonathan Taylor if you wanted, because salary will get quite tight if you do play him in your lineup. You could go with someone cheaper here like Michael Pittman, because you have the quarterback here. You have 2 pass catchers. You could run Carson Wentz here in this situation as well if you wanted to, but I'm probably going to go not with Pittman because we already have a wide receiver as our MVP. So probably negative correlation here to have 2 receivers in this lineup. So unless we had Wentz as our MVP, then we could have 2 receivers. So probably we're just going to stick with the 1 wide receiver. We want to go with Taylor actually. So let's see what we can build from here regards cash. So my quiet 14,000 with 5.5 left over. I don't think there's any good salary savers down here for the Jets. Marlon Mack for the Colts. Yeah, we have Strachan here for the Colts. We have Doolin for the Colts. You could run a 4-1, but that's more of a cash lineup than a GPP lineup. You probably don't want to do that. So probably going to fade White in our lineup, or else we could fade Taylor. We'll probably go with the Taylor fade actually. That was my original idea. So we're going to go with White, and we're going to get one of his pass catchers in the lineup. Let's see, we'll put Cole in here at 7,000. So we have 14.5 left over now. So we could play someone like a Pittman here now. So we could have, Pascal, Wentz, Pittman, but like I said, it's a little negative correlation here. If you had Pittman, you could change it up. You could go Wentz with Pascal, so you could go like that. You could go Wentz there, and you could go Pascal. Where's Pascal there? So you could go with that. You could go with a quarterback with 2 receivers if you wanted. Leave 1,000 left over. It's probably more of a cash lineup build, though that is, than the GPP lineup. You have a higher chance of being duplicated. We're going to go back to the way we had it. We're going to go back with, let's see, Pascal as our MVP. We're going to go with Wentz here. So we're not going to play Pittman here because it doesn't leave enough salary left over. You could play Carter here, starting running back for the Jets, and leave 1,500 left over. Again, I don't think that's enough salary to leave over. You could go Crowder and leave 3.5 over. Now you're in a good spot here because you have White with 2 of his receivers. Or you could go a little different there. You could go down here further. You could play someone like the kicker or Naheem Hines. You could, because we have a Taylor fade, maybe Hines is the guy who does well then instead. So this lineup is leaving 7,000 left over. We have Pascal, Wentz, Hines, Mike White, and Cole. So I really do like this lineup as a high risk lineup tonight in GPPs. Maybe if we're playing 10,000, 5,000 man or more big GPPs, MME GPPs, you probably want to play something like this, leave a lot of salary left over. Whereas if you're playing a contest that has only 100 man or 200 man, you probably wouldn't want to get this to Galaxy Brain at all. Probably play more salary here instead of Hines. Maybe you go with someone like a Pittman instead. I know there's negative correlation to have 2 receivers when you have one of them as your MVP already, so you could, like for a 100-man contest, run that for sure and leave 1,000 left over. Get a little different tonight, but I'm going to stick with the way I had it. I'm going to go with Hines here at 7.5, so we have 7,000 left over. So sports fans, that's it from me for another video. Thank you for watching all the way till the very end. Don't forget, runthesims.com is now available at a reduced price, and you can use code HeySportsFans for 10% off at checkout. So hopefully you all do well tonight with your lineups on this showdown slate. It is quite a tricky one, especially for cash on FanDuel, but best luck to you all tonight, and hopefully I see all your names on top of the leaderboard.